Dinny here, Crypto With Dinny. What's the crack? I just wanted to give you a little bit of the insight into Token 2049. So a couple of weeks ago, I got to go to the event. I have to give a shout out to Dublin boy Shane from SVK Crypto. He brought me over to the event. It was high ticket. Well, I'd consider a high ticket. I think it was £1,000 sterling to get in at the door event. So it wasn't a regular sort of crypto event, but it was an amazing insight to see what was sort of happening behind the scenes. What's going on in crypto, and that's what I'm going to chat about today. Guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Do financial advisors wear cool t-shirts like this? Do they wear Valentino Rossi hats? They might, but I'm not a financial advisor, okay? I'm a Bitcoiner, I'm a cryptocurrency investor. Fair enough, I consult with financial advisors, I consult with businesses, and I consult with private individuals about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But I personally am not a financial advisor, so please don't take it as financial advice. It's just a bit of crack. Also remember your daily exercise, right? I got these guns from hitting like buttons, okay? From hitting subscribe buttons. Hit the like button, it helps the channel if you enjoy the content, if you're learning. That'd be awesome. Guys, so London was cool. So what was happening in London was, it was like behind the scenes. When we're on YouTube and we're watching stuff, I think that's like in front, that's just the normal stuff. But what London was, it was a chance to get behind the scenes and see the people and meet and talk to the people who are actually building exchanges, people who are building cryptocurrency wallets, people who are building play to earn games, people who are building DeFi protocols, okay? All the stuff behind the scenes. And then as well, what I got to see was, which was possibly the most insightful thing, was all the venture money that's there. And when it comes to investors and venture money and this sort of stuff, like, they generally are good at spotting trends. That's why they're managing large sums of capital, okay? Because they're good at spotting trends and are good at turning large sums of capital into larger sums of capital, okay? And it was like a shark fest. You had all the devs and developers and the various different projects. Sort of, even at a lot of the we went to a couple of after parties with Shane. It was awesome. It was cool. It was like Wolf of Wall Street sort of life was for a couple of days for me. It was cool. Okay, but when you go to the parties and even just at the expo part of it, it was like a shark fest. It was like you had all the devs and developers all going around, and then you had all the VCs and the people in control of all the money going around, and they're just trying to look for people to dump their money into, and the projects are looking for people to go, here, this is what we're doing, does it sound good? And if it does, they're like, boom, yeah, call you next week, put me down for 20 million. It was just crazy numbers being talked about. And that was so insightful for me, the fact that so much of this intelligent money is coming in behind the scenes. It's coming into the infrastructure of cryptocurrencies, okay? That you know, there's Middle Eastern investors just flying in and they're just looking for people to go, there's millions, turn it into more millions for me, because I know this crypto thing is going to explode. And that was kind of cool, really, really interesting to see behind the scenes and to see that all this intelligent money is just flowing into cryptocurrencies. Yes, of course, the assets themselves, like owning Bitcoin, goes up in value. All these investors own the assets, but they also want to buy into the space and the infrastructure and the building of it, because they see there's so big potential in that. Remember, this thing is going to disrupt our world, just like the internet did. It's on that journey. A couple of other things that was really interesting. The metaverse was really, really big. Of course, it was more the decentralized metaverse. Facebook are going to go all in on the metaverse. I've recently heard that they're changing their name. Like, Facebook are going to rebrand. That is insanely big, okay? But they're going to go all in on the metaverse. But it's going to be a very centralized metaverse that you can go and live, and you live by their rules. And we know that system. We have that system. But I think the decentralized metaverse is possibly going to disrupt it. And that'll just mean that whatever you have in whatever particular metaverse you're on, you own that property. Whereas Facebook's metaverse, they'll own that property. Remember, cryptocurrency is all about digital property, okay? That's how it's changing the game. So you can take the property from that metaverse and you can go to a different metaverse. And there'll be loads of metaverses, not just that's going to be one metaverse. And possibly the one that's the best will be the one that people are treated best in. Who knows how it's all going to work, but the metaverse is just crazy. And a lot of these play-to-earn games are you know, they already have metaverses on them. Like, I suppose you can say Facebook already is a metaverse. You know, some people are just like that. They're stuck in a thing for hours. TikTok. You can't really do much, but they're sucked into it. Like, they're living there. Like, technically, that's a metaverse. And my thesis on the world is that there will be metaverses. People will have to live online, because you can live in the real world or you can live in the online world. In the real world, you're poor. In the online world, you can be a billionaire. You can be really successful. You can make loads of money, okay? Which you can then bring to the real world. So it's really going to change the whole landscape of life as we know it over the next decade. I suppose we already know that with AI and robotics and all this stuff is coming so fast. But really insightful. Another guy that was really interesting was, what's his name? Italy Tuckman. Good old Italy. All right, this guy's head of Citibank in Europe, which are the largest asset manager in the world, apparently. All right, so this guy's a pretty big player. So to be able to get in a room and listen to that man speak was really, really invaluable. Traditional finance, TradFi, they're not sleeping on cryptocurrencies. They know exactly what's going on. They're positioning themselves. They're not sleeping on it. They're not afraid they're going to be disrupted and made obsolete. They can see what's happening. They're enjoying the innovation. But their job isn't to innovate. Okay? They have a reputation of, some banks have a 200-year-old reputation. Their job is security, and they need absolute regulation clarity, 110%, before they can even dip a toe in. So they're fully aware. And from a personal level, someone in the audience asked a question, and Italy said, well, I can't speak for Citibank on that. I can't remember the question exactly, but he said, personally, I have a personal allocation to Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies. And because we have to act within the very tight constraints of regulation, until regulation catch up with innovation, we won't be able to offer this to our clients. It'll be our high net worth clients first, and then the plebs, I'm a pleb, will come later. But he also added, and it was a little, it sort of stuck in my head, possibly a lot of the upside of the asset may have passed by then. You know, and these guys can't. Their model is security. Their model is their absolute reputation. We're degenerates. We can move fast. We don't need, which is the amazing thing that I love about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, is it's democratizing this. Everyone can have access to it. And if you're smart and you can get it before other people, because a lot of old people struggle with this concept. Like, don't ask an old person, is Bitcoin a good investment? Okay, I'm 39 now, and I'm just getting my head around it. Okay, ask your children about digital value and digital property, and to quantify, to try and explain to you why they see massive intrinsic value in skins in a computer game. All right, don't ask old people about that, because some of them will never get it. They'll just die. But the people behind us, and some of us, and some people who are older than us, have got it and can get it. But it's just a little dinny bomb. Don't ask old people to explain, is Bitcoin a good investment to you, because it's a different landscape. Okay, we're talking about metaverses. We're talking about digital life. We're talking about living online. It's harder for old people. Some of them only got a Facebook account there like a year ago or something. We've been on it for a decade. Do you know? So it's more difficult for them to get it and understand the value in it. So that was sort of overview, is that there's so much money coming into it. The banks aren't sleeping on it. The banks are putting in the work behind the scenes, and they'll be ready when the regulators are ready. We've seen the ETF in America, a massive step. And I'll tell you a little dinny bomb about the ETF in America. People will say, because that ETF isn't a spot ETF, that they don't have to buy the underlying asset. All right. Now, there will be, we won't go into arbitrage because that's probably confusing for some people. But however, it's deeper than that. You need to look at the fundamentals. By the SEC approving, okay, a Bitcoin futures ETF, that's legitimized the whole space. So straight away, some investors that are sitting on the sidelines, well, SEC have legitimized this thing. I'm in. I'm buying spot myself. Okay, but we won't see the largest amounts of capital come in until we see a spot ETF. And I suppose the futures ETF have only launched, and I think they sucked in $1 billion. It was like the highest performing asset ever when it comes to this stuff. To futures ETFs, it outperformed everything, which is, you know, that's obvious. So amazing things are happening with wallets, with exchanges, with NFT, with DeFi. I'm looking at my notes here, with metaverse, with gaming, play to earn stuff, massive. Met some cool Irish guys who are working on some really good stuff as well that I'm hoping to stay in contact with. And really insightful. But my overall, because I always like to just step back and then step back further and zoom out until you're 100 miles away, just looking at it going, what's that all about? You know, that's basically what meditation is. You just sit there and relax and just detach and go, wow. Okay, so when I do that with my experience in London, it's just like, one, there's already a ton of money here. But two, smart money is piling into this. And if smart money's piling in, well, smart money is smart money because it's smart. So that just gives me more of, right, this thing is bigger than I thought, it's going further than I thought. Also in London, the crypto community is thriving. It's an awesome community over there. But that about wraps it up. I think my screen just went blank there. Hopefully it didn't for you guys. Remember, guys, your daily exercise, press the like button. You'll get guns like them. Guys, if you're not on my newsletter, cryptowithdinny.com, get my 5 things to know before you buy Bitcoin and crypto. If you're not on the socials, Crypto with Dinny on Facebook, I go live all the time. On Instagram, I'm putting up stories all the time, having a bit of crack. You're in the right place at the right time. Keep learning. Bitcoin has done amazing things for us people who have been in the space, and I believe it will continue to do amazing things for people who are entering the space. Bitcoin is my retirement plan, and Bitcoin just rewards patience and understanding. All right, that's it for the Bitcoin love today. Thanks, guys, and have an awesome day. Dinny out.